purported by the government, their government. I don't know what's happening in Chicago though. I just hear stories. Why would America threaten a sovereign state? Why? That was a very reckless statement by Donald J. Trump. A very reckless statement. And this is a gameplay that has been going on over the years by these powerful countries. So, at times, okay, you might want something from a certain nation, but the way you approach it, you can't use force anymore. That's what these people need to know. You can't use force anymore. You cannot. You cannot use force or tactics. Silly tactics can't win in this era. We know your plans. We know what you think. We know what you might think. We are thinking. You understand? So we know the gameplay. Are we just waiting and watching and waiting? If this was like 50 years ago, are you? And I so listen. Some people are just stupid, man. I saw some Nigerian celebrities celebrating that. Thank you, Trump, for sending the American military to our nation to help, whatever. Oh, are you really sure? Do you know the drill? Do you know what it means? Or you are just celebrating something you don't really understand the weight of it, what it really means? Because once it starts, listen, there have been claims and rumors all around this thing or this issue that the US might have been funding ISIS and Boko Haram. Yes, rumors. I'm saying rumors over these years. And all I can say is I don't know what's true. I don't know what's right. But there's always dots connecting. There's always dots connecting at the end of the day. If you're keen enough and following events, just like I said, after the Venezuela attack collapsed, he went straight for Nigeria. He went straight for Nigeria. Why? Why? So, Nigeria, let's put Nigeria aside first. We come back to Sudan and Kenya and Tanzania and Uganda. Tanzania has never experienced what happened recently. Trust me. So, the president and her administration underestimated the youth power. They underestimated the youth power. Trust me. Reason I'm saying that is at the start of the protests, or even before the protests started, there were posts saying, "We will protest." Or they were to protest on the 29th of last month. But we also, the government was just saying, there will not be protests. Don't try this or don't try this. And they were very okay, just minding their own business, going on with their normal business, not worrying that these youths might go all the way like the way they did. So after the one is when she realized, oh, this is serious. The people are really tired of me. The people are really tired of bad governance. This is a wake up call. A wake up call. And after they shut the internet down, is when I knew dictatorship is still around. Yes, dictatorship is still a thing in Africa. So you shut down the internet and then go on a slaughter ride, ending people's lives like they are cattle, At times when we say, don't give certain people power, you may hear, oh, you are misogynistic, you are this, you're the gender biased. No, no. Listen, it's proven facts. Use a few examples. Just use a few examples. Then you'll understand what we mean or what people mean when they tell you don't give power to certain people. Shutting down the internet was the worst thing ever. Imagine your world going dark. Yes, you don't know where your family is, you don't know where your friends are, you don't know how your business is going because they were on curfew. Yes, they put the curfew and then they shut down the internet and then they started hunting every each and every person that was involved in the protests, which is constitutionally right because they are accustomed to protest in the constitution. Yes, but funny thing is, after protesting, your peace, your safety is not guaranteed by the government. Trust me. You might go missing. They might get you lost. Lost. It's so sad to see all this happening. And neighboring countries like Kenya, Uganda, just watching. And at the end of the day, she gets sworn in and they can congratulate him. Ha. Yes, we saw Ruto, President Ruto and Museveni congratulate Samia Suluhu Hassan after she was sworn in a military barracks. In a military barracks, you know what I mean? Yes, it was bad. It was that bad. Normally, they get sworn, presidents get sworn in public places, maybe public stadium, a national stadium. She was sworn in a military base. That's an idea most probably given by Museveni or Ruto, if you know what I mean. We are cooked. Remember, Kenya is going to have a general election in 2027. It may get tough. Trust me, it may get tough. Those in power are now celebrating because Raila is not around anymore. We lost him. He succumbed to death due to uh, illness. And those that are competing with him are really celebrating. We've had them in rallies talking publicly, even the head of state. And it's really saddening because he was the only person that championed for democracy. He has fought for democracy for the longest time. All his life, all his political career, he has been fighting for democracy throughout these years. And he was known for that. A resilient heart. He served 7 years in jail back in the days when he was starting out, but never gave up. He came back and went strong up to the last minute. He succumbed, if you understand. Right now, Kenya does not have him anymore. The opposition that we have, they are trying, but filling the shoes or filling the space that Raila left is not easy or won't be easy. It can't be easy unless they have that kind of spirit, that kind of heart. It's not that easy. Trust me. All we are doing is just praying for God to do his wonders because those in power, we've heard rumors of them being involved with what's happening in Sudan. Maybe they might be doing arms trade, they might be doing the cleaning of gold and exporting the it, and maybe providing money. There's a lot going on. Listen, there's a lot going on. Kenya, in Kilifi, there was a hill that was discovered recently to be having rare earths. Yes, rare earths, which is something very crucial when it comes to the military. And I'm just watching the power play between China and America, because Chinese delegates were in Kenya. And we've had J.D. Vance, who's the vice president of America, is visiting Kenya very soon. What is he coming to do? Of course, it's just about that. Yeah, it has to be about that, actually, because they are valued at the minerals are valued at the rare earths are valued at close to 62 billion US dollars. Yes, and might be more. So basically, there's a lot going on, and we might see a lot of developments in Kenya in the coming few years. Because of that, listen, these people will do anything. They will do anything. They can play dirty if needed to, just to get what they want. So I'm just waiting to see what they really want, or what they will do to get what they want. You understand? But the era of America dominating the world, the era of America feeling like they can do anything anywhere, I think it's over, or it's coming to an end with the entry of other power players like China and Russia. We've seen Russia scare America, like, seriously, when it comes to Ukraine and Venezuela, like real life scares. Real life scares. Trump had to hold attacks in Venezuela simply because oh, he saw uh, the Russian president take his military cargo plane to Venezuela with the Russian mercenaries to counter his own military. So, and even Trump himself, with they say during his recent 60 minutes interview, he admitted that the Russian president Vladimir Putin, and Xi Jinping, who's China's president, they are very strong leaders. In his own words, strong, bold, and very tactical presidents or leaders that can be handled with ease. You have to be keen on what you say, or what you plan, or what you do with them, because anything can cause, you understand, anything that can cause panic will be met with severe punishment or consequences. You understand? So all these power players in the world right now, they have to be keen, because China is coming up, or has already come up, and is doing the all it can to amass the power, the connection, the, like, almost everything required of a major power player. North Korea has been testing nuclear weapons all along. We saw the Russian president. Listen, Russia did not test nuclear weapons. It tested a system that could deliver a nuclear weapon. Understand? So you all heard what Trump said. He thought, oh, he said, like, all these other countries like China and Russia have been testing nuclear weapons. So America is going to start testing its own after nearly 30 years. That's 3 decades. The panic has kicked in. Yes, the panic has kicked in, and we are all seeing it in work. It's really working. And this is what the likes of Putin and Xi Jinping want. They really want this. Trust me, they really want this. And it scares Trump. We don't know if he will get elected, re-elected again in office, or this is his second term. He might get. Listen, if he extends the term limits, then he can get re-elected. Yes, but if he doesn't, he won't get re-elected, and we will see the likes of JD Vance maybe come into play or into the site, but who are still maybe they are under Trump. Listen, when I look at the world right now, it's really cooked. We just don't see, or we are assuming things. Imagine what's happening in South Africa. They are losing a whole state to whites. Yes, and very soon they might need visas to visit a state in their own country, because as of now they are not they need to have they required to have permits to work over there. So it's just a matter of time before they get chased out in a state in their own country. This is just how things work, man. And the same South Africans are the ones chasing fellow Africans, uh, saying they are taking their opportunities or their jobs. Of course, illegal. Listen, if you are in a country illegally, the constitutions of those countries might clearly stipulate that you get deported. You understand? You get deported. But there are certain immigrants who are legally in these countries. But South Africans don't want that. The Dudula movement bosses or whatever, the leaders, they don't want that. As long as you are not South African, they don't want you in their country. Say you are finishing their resources, you are taking their jobs that should be taken by South Africans or should be done by South Africans. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. But as I always say, I've talked about this a few times. As I always say, I'm Kenyan. I have Nigerian friends. I have Ugandan friends. I go over to Uganda and do production from over there. We have producers over there. We have video directors over there too. We have photographers over there too. I do the same thing, but everyone has their own touch, their own clientele base. So no one is coming to tell me that I'm taking their job. No, the client decides who they want to work with. At the end of the day, I'm paying tax. You understand? I'm paying tax because all these parks we go to shoot from, all these studios we go to pay, we pay. At the end of the day, they are paying for permits for the offices and the premises. We pay like for almost everything, the rental gear and whatsoever. We are still we are still promoting the economy in one way or the other. And as a matter of fact, we promote the economy more than they themselves, because you meet someone who's saying you're taking their jobs. They've been jobless for even 10 years. Yes, they which means they've not paid any tax. Yes, they have not remitted any tax. Maybe through these small things that are like small purchases, which are indirect. You paying taxes indirectly, but for us, we pay directly, because from the input duty to whatever, from the tax stamps, from the border, whatever like the moment you touch down the border, you start paying tax until the day you'll come out of that country, and still someone would say you are taking their jobs. I really don't understand that. Anyway, it might be true, but At the end of the day, we are just developed. Africa is ours, and we shouldn't be thinking of, are you coming to our country to take our jobs, to take our opportunities? No, we have so many South Africans in Kenya. We have so many South Africans in Nigeria. The only country maybe people don't like going over there is Tunisia. We all know why. If you don't know, go research, go do some research. I won't talk about that. Go just do some research about Tunisia and you'll find out why. But all these other countries, we go there, we visit, we do jobs over there, we come out. They come to our countries, they do whatever they do, they go back home. It's just like that. Our one Africa is so powerful that even the West wouldn't like. Trust me. That's what Traore is fighting for. One Africa. But do these other presidents really want the same thing? They would rather be presidents of a broken nation or do business. There's a lot that has been concealed from the public. And a few leaders, listen, from history, you've heard of leaders who really wanted to have one Africa unified, and the Western world wasn't happy about it, and they had to end them. Yes, Nova, Gaddafi, Nova, there are names, there are certain names I won't mention on this platform. So with Traore, these things are, oh, these plans are being actualized. Oh, he really wants this to work. But our African presidents, our African politicians, I won't call them leaders, most of our African politicians don't like this. They don't really like this idea. They don't really like this idea. And I don't know why, but you know why. You know why.